So we were just touching on the idea of self, understanding yourself. And Komal, you have engaged a lot in the arts. In fact, Komal also did a play. The whole family did a play, and you guys wrote the story, most of that story. I know you're a voracious reader, and you dabble a lot in. Well, you do more than dabble. You actually immerse yourself in philosophy. I myself have borrowed some of your books, one of which I have yet to return. But there you go. From the arts, what are some tips you can give adults right now? I want to focus on adults that they can practice to help them with stress management.
Well, there's a lot that art does. In fact, I feel like art is to humans just like breathing is to us. It's something very natural. It's essentially about how we express ourselves, right? And what art does is that it gives us a unique way of expressing ourselves in this world, who we are. And stress actually builds up when we end up accumulating a lot of energies, maybe from outside or from within us, right? And we are not knowing like how to manage those energies within us or what to do with them, or that can also come in our bodies through different emotions which we do not know how to deal with and what to do with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think just getting acquainted with, first of all, your body, how your body wants to move, what it wants to do in certain ways, right? Simplest of the things, just knowing that and connecting back to our body is something very important. I've also been, in my college days, was a part of theater, and you're a part of theater, so you know like how much body work is so
Yes,
important in theater.
yes,
And why
yes.
is that? Because our body informs us a lot about how we are feeling, how we are conducting ourselves, who
Mm-hmm.
we really are.
Mm-hmm.
Like different characters, different poses would give you a completely different persona,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So who you are in your own body, what makes you feel really content, calm and relaxed, and what makes you feel stressful is something very important. We can know it just by looking at our body,
Yeah. Just the way we
becoming
hold,
aware
yeah,
of it.
the way
Like
we hold
if you're
ourselves.
stressed, you would notice that your facial muscles are like really tensed, and or your body is really tensed. So if you'll just take a little bit breath and just drop your shoulders, or maybe stretch your shoulders just a little bit, there are certain ways in which we can carry our body, in which you be in those poses and then just try and be stressed. You just won't be able to, because everything that happens inside us, if we are depressed, we notice that our body behaves completely differently.
Yeah.
So if we just shift our body a little bit,
Right.
right? Like if I'm sitting at some place and having a lot of this constant thought,
Yeah,
going on in my
a
head,
loop, yeah, thought loop,
a thought loop is going on, and I just became aware of that. Oh, I'm just going down in that thought loop. Change that place.
Yeah, yeah.
Get up from that place, go sit elsewhere.
Yeah.
That thought loop will shift.
Right.
Because we've shifted our body.
You're right.
Right?
Yeah.
So the solutions are within our reach, and they're so simple. They're so easy that we don't even need to go anywhere or do anything about. We just need to start becoming aware of it. And I think art is a very, very good means of it. Yeah. Because different kind of art forms, different art forms help us connect back to ourselves and start recognizing what is that natural expression within me.
So your answers keep going back to origin, self, and authentic expression.
Absolutely.
So yes, so clearly Komal has a mission in life, which is, as she mentioned earlier, relationship is a theme that has followed her throughout her life, from childhood to adulthood. From being a carefree single woman to a wife, a mother, And you're also caregiver, well, sort of caregiver. You have aging parents. That is also a concern. So through all of this, what really has helped you is understanding yourself. And through understanding yourself, authentic expression.
Absolutely.
And art is a key contributor of expression, whether you're painting, whether you're sketching, whether you're writing a song, whether you're writing a book, short story, novel, article, you're getting up and dancing, you are flailing your arms about as part of a theater practice or acting practice. So I would like to take this moment, because this is what we promised, that in every episode we're going to give you some tool. And Komal has just touched on physical movement. So understanding where you're holding stress. For me, it is neck and shoulders. For a lot of people, it is the jaw. Where you're holding stress when you feel panic, when you feel anxiety, when you feel the stress rising, when you feel attacked in a dialogue with your partner, with your boss, with anybody else, with your colleague. At that point, just do a body scan internally. You just do this body scan. You can do it anywhere. Go from the top of your head to the tip of your toes, and you can feel where you are holding stress, and just try to relax that part. And an easy way to relax that part is to stand up and to move about, because if you're not aware of, okay, how do I release the tension in my neck, it doesn't matter. If you stand up and you start moving around, then your whole body has to shift. So all the muscles have to shift. So wherever you're holding the stress will have to shift. So doing that simple scan will help you not to cause more of a rift in that relationship at that point of time. Because when you're already stressed, when there are two people who are stressed, who are trying to talk through something, it usually never works out well. So we need to calm down. And in order to calm down, that is a good practice. And that is also a practice that a lot of theater folks, actors, and dancers do, which is a lot of body scanning. We scan our bodies before we start any practice, and we try to consciously release the tension and the stress from that. And that does wonders for our mental health. We talked about adults. So as a parent, what advice would you give to other parents and caregivers of young people to create the kind of environment that young people feel safe, the people within their care feel safe to share about their day, about their stress, about their mental health? Earlier, you talked about one of the things that you find in your practice is that people are not feeling safe enough to express and to give expression to their authentic self. So how can adults provide this opportunity to young people?
One word answer is presence.
She has a one word answer.
Right. And then I can elaborate on that. I think presence is the biggest gift that parents can really offer their children. And when I say presence, that means your whole complete presence with your children around. A few things that I've learned in my journey as a parent is that, one, I do not just believe, I know that our children are an intelligence system within themselves, which is like far beyond our intelligence. A lot of parents feel like they need to teach their children and they need to make them intelligent. I would say no, they are intelligent within themselves. We just do not need to disturb their natural progression and natural growth and allow them to grow as intelligent beings as they are. There's a lot which as parents we can learn from our children. And for that, we just need to learn to start being present with them. A lot of times, not just a lot, but all the times, whenever you hear the stories of some children acting out or being really violent or being difficult, there is something in the environment to which they are reacting to.
Right.
And usually it is the stress and the tension that parents bring home. or anybody else in the family brings home. I learned it when my son was like very young. And he's also neurodivergent, he's autistic. So I recognized at one point of time that when I'm back from my office and if I'm stressed already, he would always be acting out because he is responding to my stress. Children have these senses in them.
Yeah.
Right. So they are always showing us what we need to see.
Yeah.
So they're acting out, they're being difficult, they're being anything, is like they are already facing that difficult. They're not being difficult, they are feeling the difficulty.
Right.
So we just need to start being present. And what you said is that becoming aware of our own selves, that, okay, where am I stressed? Where am I bringing this trouble? Am I really calm and quiet in myself? Because most of the times when as parents we are calm and content and we are not keeping a lot of nagging thoughts in our head, and we are spending time with our children, they are very open, they are naturally very collaborative, they are naturally very expressive, and then we just need to be present with them so that we can just allow them be.
Yeah.
And then communicate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Communicate and listen about everything and anything, even
without
if it's
judgment.
Without judgment. Even if it's like a silly topic for you, for your child, that's like
Yes.
something big
Yes.
for
Yes.
them to talk about. So you need to meet them with their excitement where they are.
Yes, I've always found this when I come to your house, that we all sit down together. The children come and they sit down along with us, and whatever conversation we are having is not, it doesn't shut down just because the children came. Or we don't hide things from them.
No.
And your daughter is a visual artist and a singer, and she plays the guitar. And I remember your son, at one point I had told him that I'd play chess with him, and then I sort of didn't have time to go home or whatever. But months later he met me at an event, and he asked me when I will be coming back to play chess with him. So it is also very important that when we say things to children, we may, because of the stress of our lives, we may forget these things, but for them it is important. So don't make commitments that you have no intention of following through. I did go back and I did play chess, but understand the severity of things, that the way children will take it. Don't downplay their emotional feelings, the severity of what they're feeling. Like, we know in the larger landscape of life it may not become something big, but for them, like you mentioned, it is a big thing at that point of time. One thing I've always enjoyed coming to your house is the freedom of expression for the guest, for the children, for Komal, for her husband, for anybody who is in that space. We're all free to express ourselves. And so it comes as no surprise to me that today you're talking about self and authentic expression, and the origin of from where we don't have a lot of control on what we receive from our environment, especially where we're growing up. But once we have the intellectual level, we have the emotional maturity and the intellectual maturity to understand ourselves, then it does become our responsibility. So we can't always sit back and say, oh, my dad did this, or my mom did this, or my uncle did this, or whatever, this is what happened, this is social life at that point of time was like this. Sometimes it's good for people, sometimes it's not great for people, but there does come a time when, as adults, it becomes our own responsibility to deal with our emotional issues, to identify ourselves, the self, and to assign the esteem and the worth which we should have, which we deserve. We should have high self-esteem, and we are worthy of self value. And without that good relationship with ourselves, we cannot have a healthy relationship with other people, whether it's at work, or anything. So I hope that you have learned something from this, and please share this message. And here's to happy mental health.